Good morning, afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sandbox game. Live stream, this is Wednesday, April 21st, 2021. My name is Joseph, the Vision X Matting, and alongside me, through the magic of the internet, the great one, the hostess with the mostest. You know what I mean? He's a male, but we're doing it. Alex Camisaze Flores. How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing great.
Each and every Wednesday, right here on youtube.com, Twitch TV, Theta, DLive, Facebook, Twitter.com/the Sandbox game. We play the games that you publish to the gallery using the Sandbox Game Maker. If you're watching live with us today, you have a special opportunity. During the stream, feel free to ask us anything. Questions about the Game Maker, about our asset creation tool, VoxEdit, questions about the Metaverse, or anything else related to the Sandbox that you want to know. We'll answer these questions live as they come in. And for those questions we can't answer live, feel free to click on the wonderful social channels in the description below this video. Tag me after the show on Discord, Telegram, Twitter, or any of our other great platforms, and we'll answer those for you. Of course, if you're watching this later over on youtube.com, you may want to join us each and every Wednesday starting at 2100 UTC. That's right. Those watching live have a unique opportunity as well to win a Wizzy the Blue NFT right here on this stream. More details on that will come later as we go with the show, so stick with us for now. Let's get into the start of each and every week. It's time for some news. This week in the Sandbox, and for the next 5 minutes, we'll cover all the amazing news that you need to know about. If you're not watching this live, join us each and every Wednesday at 2100 UTC, where you can interact with us, get in the chat, and have some fun. My name is Joseph Matting. Once again, this is Alex Flores, and we've got 10 great pieces of news for you this week. Links available in the description below. Alex.
Yes, Joseph. Well, number one is the land sale went live last Wednesday. $3.8 million in primary land sales, $1.1 million in secondary land sales, $2.9 million sand via OpenSea auctions. There's still plots available, but all remaining lands will now be converted into regular lands and become available sometime later this week. So no more NFTs attached to them. These are regular lands, not premium lands. NFTs that are previously bundled with the land will be burned and become unavailable forever, except on secondary market. This means the total available scarcity of all NFTs will change for those who have already acquired them. So your NFTs will be more scarce and more valuable. Joseph, what's the second thing?
All right, number two coming up. Saturday, the 17th of April. We hosted an NFT drop on the marketplace at sandbox.games, so you had an opportunity to pick up some assets, and there may still be some available, so check these out. The artist from Saturday the 17th was Aki. And also Wednesday the 21st, earlier today, there's 6 great little pieces of art that you can still pick up, available from Ilves, or ILVES. Over on our marketplace, you can find a dark jet skateboard, ghost pirate, demon horse. That one's very interesting. I like that. It's like a skeletal. Very good. Antelope bongo and a tormented mage asset. So those are available. Prices are listed on the marketplace. Alex, number 3.
Number 3 is the Artifact shoes have, for the Atari partnership, have been distributed to the people who bought the original shoes from Artifact. And pretty soon, the Sandbox version of these shoes, which feature a S on them, are going to be distributed to landholders. And later on, there will also be one available for winners of the 4th Game Jam. So keep an eye out for those. Joseph, what's number 5?
Number 4. On our list.
Number 5. I know how to count.
Interview. Sebastian was on CNBC earlier this week. Also featured on Reuters earlier this week. Links again for these. There were multiple different interviews. Great interviews to check out. If you haven't seen them yet, you will want to see them. Great. It's an ever-expanding bubble for the Sandbox right now. Things rapidly rocketing off into the future. And Seb wasn't the only one who had an interview this week as well, Alex. Who else did we see this week?
Marcus was on Clubhouse. So you can check that out if you are able to get on Clubhouse. So that was with the Game Industry CH Metaverse Monday with the Sandbox.
All right. And Saul Verniers also took part in a wonderful panel hosted by the Blockchain Game Alliance, known for Women Cross Play to Earn, right? So it was all the premier women in the industry got their chance to speak up, speak out, and be heard in the Women Play to Earn panel. So there's a YouTube link to that in the description. You want to check that out as well. Very nice commentary there from each one of these ladies.
All right, and Seb was on the Modern Finance podcast. We'll have a link to that in the description as well. You can catch that on many of these podcast platforms.
Also, we had an IndoDAX AMA. So, much like you have an opportunity to ask the AMA here on these live streams and in the description in the chat below, IndoDAX AMA, folks asked from Indonesia. So, go check that out if you are part of the international audience and you are interested in hearing a different perspective.
All right. Sand listings also appeared on LCX, ABCC, and Coin One. So you can check Sand out on more platforms pretty much every week now.
Yeah. There have been quite a lot more of those listings are coming up all the time, really. So very good to see. There was also a Play to Earn 420 giveaway, the PD NFT. So this is on twitter.com/play to earn. You can check that out. I don't know if that giveaway is still ongoing. Alex, you may want to elaborate on that.
Let's see. It says one lucky winner will win the ultimate. Let's see. Follow Play to Earn. Retweet this tweet. Winner contacted by DM. Giveaway ends Thursday, April 22nd at 1600 UTC.
You still got your opportunity to get that.
Still got a chance.
Very good.
All right. And also, the Sandbox is hiring. So if you are a senior Unity developer, a 3D animator, or a senior game designer, we want you on our team. So you can check out the Sandbox Twitter for links to those job descriptions on LinkedIn and apply for that. We'd love for you to work with us. So go check that out.
And the last item this week in the news for the Sandbox, we have Hotfix 0.6.2 available right now. You can download it on the website at sandbox.game. The bug fixes in 0.6.2, assets now, as expected, fully load as they are seen in the experience. If the user switches to play before, they will not now lose or have unwanted behaviors. We also fixed several issues related to asset rarity counts. We validated not allowing to enter play mode, save, publish, share, and go to home if the experience was not fully loaded. So that's now fixed. We fixed null references, errors, not allowing people to share publish experience with drop components set to none. So that's all good, and that should help you hopefully in your game jam creations. So Alex, wonderful Wednesday news, and we're going to jump right into playing games live. If you're watching again over there on youtube.com and you are watching this on VOD, please remember that you can check us out live each and every Wednesday over on these streams right here on this channel, in fact. So subscribe to that. And now let's play your games. Let's have some fun, Alex.
All right.
I'm so excited.
Let's hop into the Game Maker 0.6.2. And yes, so about the presets, I saw somebody asking about that. The preset issue, actually, this is really important. We should have said this in the news, but it just happened, and it wasn't in my list, and I forgot while doing the news. So we are actually going to be doing an extension on the Game Jam. So yes. I believe it was officially announced on Discord. I'm not sure if it went out on Twitter yet.
I think there's
But
supposed to be a Medium article for that, but I'm not sure that it's already released. We will put out a proper release for that, I believe. Let me have a look. Oh, nope. So we just updated the dates. If you go to the medium.com/sandbox-game, you can see the updated dates. We are now going to close the submission for the Game Jam on June 21st because we understand that a lot of people had some struggles and maybe have had to restart because of the presets issue. And so the team is working hard to bring presets back into the client.
so I
But
will
with yes,
cut you off there real quick. So presets will not be returning during the Game Jam. I know that's pretty pretty disappointing, but the presets need a lot of fixing done to them, and we want to make sure that we're kind of frozen in this version for the duration of the Game Jam. So we will not be seeing presets returning until 0.7, which will come out after the Game Jam is over. We just want to give everybody an even playing field here, and I know presets is everybody's favorite thing, but the fixes are needed for the continued development, and so we just made it was a tough decision, but it had to be firm that presets are going away for now, and you will need to figure out other ways of accomplishing your game without presets, and that's something that we can talk about on our Saturday streams, ways to do things without presets. So
yeah, and it's important to understand that despite not having those presets in this current version, everybody's on a level playing field, and we didn't want to leave you with the expectation that like maybe on the last week of the jam or something, then presets would come back and then you'd be like, oh well, geez, and you have to run it back,
surprise new feature that you have to integrate.
Right. But also when we're talking about 0.7 being the update that brings that preset feature back, that's not really that far off in the future, but obviously if the Game Jam doesn't end until the 21st of June, it's a little ways now, but nonetheless, still, some of our previous Game Jams seen some great things made before presets were really used, right? Frankly,
before they existed, really. So
yeah. So there's still a lot of great things you can do, a lot of great games that can be made, and those are going to be usable on the metaverse. So as soon as you have created it, whether you are one of our top 10 winners or not, you're going to have a great game that you can publish and people can play. So
yeah. All right. So, Cyber Dragon made an Easter egg hunt. Let's check that out.
I saw another thing too on one of Cyber Dragon's streams this week that might be interesting. They redid teleportation systems without presets.
Okay.
So that's not something for this stream, but maybe we can check that out on Saturday.
We'll check that out on Saturday.
And then I'm going to start addressing, I mentioned at the top of the show that you can ask AMA anytime. So I'm going to hit those questions while you're exploring the world here.
Let's see who we've got to talk to here. We got some bunny-eared kids here. And, okay, we got a quest, Easter egg hunt. Can you find all the Easter eggs in town? All right, well, these look kind of like Easter eggs, but I don't think those ones count. So try not to get run over here. Let's see what we've got. Are those Easter eggs hanging from the tree? Oh, I think... Whoa, what was... I don't know. We're getting attacked by a tree folk. Go away. No. He's going to kill us. This is a very violent Easter egg hunt. Oh, he just decided to teleport through that wall. Okay.
It's not an Easter egg hunt. You're the hunted,
All right. So, hopped over the fence here. Oh, this guy.
You're going to get you.
I know this guy's face, though.
Oh.
It's cracking me up.
Bunny, they're wearing a hat. They're wearing a little bunny hat.
Bunny suit guy with a cigarette.
Like old suit. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So he found 3 eggs. I wonder if he found them in here.
So there was a question coming up. It was about 10 minutes ago now. Butters is Gaming asked, on the subject of land, when is the land being distributed to the Game Jam number 3 entries? And it's important to understand that not everyone who enters in the Game Jam wins a land, just the top 10 winners. right?
Correct.
So if you were playing, or you created a game and you were thinking, automatically you would win that land NFT, there is a limited number of lands, right? We only have the 404 by 404 total quantity of lands, which is about 166,000 plus, excuse me, lands. So we don't want to necessarily over distribute that and then not be able to host that and have that as rewards for us for your game jam creation. So we'll do it for the top 10, and we'll do that again
Good
for
grief.
this game jam as well. So
I'm having issues hopping on this fence. I keep hopping over it, going in a loop. There we go.
are you trying to exploit it?
Well, I think I have to get to this this egg on top of the tree here.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Unless I can chop the tree down, which I don't think I can. It doesn't take any damage.
Probably not.
All right, so we got 5.
There you go.
I think we need to move
All
on
right,
to the
let's
next
see
area.
here. Somebody says they were looking forward to a mount system sometime in the future. That would be interesting. I don't know if that's in the plans, but I'm not often in those kinds of meetings.
It's something that we've been talking about. It's
Right.
not a top feature. It's not a top priority feature at the moment. But it's theoretically possible, and the point of the game maker has always been that we want to enable any type of game to be made. So when you start talking about visual scripting unlocking, we're going to be able to see anything you can imagine, pretty much. The issue of whether we implement a mount system before we get to visual scripting, it becomes a little more complicated to determine what we're going to do there. So right now the big focus is on getting combat really nice and smooth. You can see there's been a lot of improvements. I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. Yeah, we've got a new attack system there. You can't see it with this particular character, but you can defend now. If I open up a new game and add in a new avatar, then you'll be able to see the new block animations. So we're implementing a lot more into the combat and the kind of the RPG aspects and equipment aspects right now. But eventually we might see a mount system, but it's not on the immediate roadmap. Hit an egg in a tree up there. How do we get up there is the question.
All right. Looks like I'm all caught up to the real time. Better Van Ham over there on YouTube. I have linked the play to earn link that you were looking for.
Ooh, climbing is so much faster than it used to be. I love it. There was a period when climbing up ladders was painfully slow, but it looks like that is all fixed now, and I missed the fence.
You can set that speed, right? No?
Well, you could always set it, and it used to be reasonable, and I think you could set it to unreasonable levels, I think was the issue. So they made it so that way it was locked in at a max speed of 1, and 1 was just way too slow. And I think they've increased that speed, so it feels more sprightly.
Sure. Yeah. Like
I don't think sprightly was the word.
Just a real athlete, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like I've never climbed a ladder that fast, but professional wrestlers, that's the kind of ladder climbing you can do right there.
Can I talk to this
It's
guy?
funny. There's always a juxtaposition with that, though. I don't know. I'm a fan of that kind of industry. And if you've never watched a wrestling ladder match that they call them,
Oh no.
there's always like a prize to go get. And when it's time to actually go get that prize, they go super slow. Unless, they don't want someone else to get the prize, then they're up the ladder like instantly. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Oh, there's the last one.
All combats are focused on melee as of now, Smobler. Ranged attacks can be kind of created, like
Without
if you're talking
presets,
about like a cannon,
maybe
you
not
can make a cannon,
anymore.
but oh yeah,
Yeah, we kind of need
Not without
presets for that. So
yeah, but when we get back into 0.7, you'll be able to have the or up to version 0.7, you'll be able to make like cannon like ranged attacks again.
We can do bombs. So like that bomb dropping tutorial we did a few weeks ago or months ago. I don't even remember when it was now. We can still, you don't need a preset for a bomb. You can just have it be a damaging item that falls. So
Rob, there is not currently Sandbox merch.
And that's it.
Not yet.
We did. I can share some internal details. We merch might be coming. I don't know if we're gonna do merch. I don't know if this will be available to the public, but we did just get an email out this past week for staff to like get T-shirts.
Oh yeah.
So
maybe I sent that email in.
Maybe
it's gonna be real interesting.
What if I click edit mode?
You know what we should do? What
does this do?
What?
Oh, it sends me back to the editor. I was because it had to reset in edit mode, but that edit mode button didn't used to be there. So I was wondering if it would make me open up Cyber Dragon's game, which would have been problematic, I think. But let's see. Pirate Island looks like it could be interesting. Jump to work. I saw something about parkour also. Was that on?
Yeah, Kirsch. Literally, the planned sale of the remaining lands was scheduled for 24 hours originally, but we're not sure if the team's going to be able to turn that around because there's a lot of manual work that needs to be done to make those prepared, especially removing and rebuilding basically every little yellow square that you see on the map right now on sandbox.game has to have their smart contract recreated so that it only includes the land NFT and then the other NFTs can get burned. So that does take time, but it may be as early as 24 hours from the close, which would be, what time is that? 1 p.m. Is it 1 p.m. UTC? I think was the.
I'm not good with that in my head.
Yeah, normally I think it's 1 p.m. UTC that sale goes live. So look for it. You know, me being in the U.S., that's like a 6 a.m. I think, for 9 a.m. for Alex. But somebody in Japan, of course, that's a totally different time block. So definitely look for that. And you're right. Over on YouTube, James Hallett says, I noticed that very few game makers use the depth of the land. And if this is your first time watching, or you haven't been super involved, in our way back past, a 1x1 land, one of these individual lands that will come up for sale soon. They're 96 meters wide, 96 meters deep, right? Like on this vertical plane or a horizontal plane that Alex is running on right now. And I love that. That dog pirate is so cute. Who made that? Who made that dog pirate?
Well, we can find out. Let's go to NFTs. It's probably like Epic, maybe. Let's see. We gotta load in the thumbnails.
So anyway, the vertical height on one of these lands is 128 meters. So if you were leveraging something like a teleportation system, you could very easily, like if it was a fully enclosed building sort of scenario instead of an open air scenario, you could leverage your vertical space very well and use the entire box and have a game that takes, hours to complete play-wise versus a game that can take minutes. So always worth, hello Purple Lioness, you are in the Twitch live stream. It's always worth taking advantage of that vertical space if it meets the theme that you want.
Here it is. So this is Dog Pirate Toby. And that is by Tsukichi.
I would like to see that. I'm gonna look that up.
They have a lot of cute assets. Oh, they did the Easter Girl and Easter Boy that were in the last game we did.
Yeah, it's very in theme with that. Yeah,
very kawaii.
Kawaii, yes, so cute. It was super cute. It was obvious that they made those other creatures once. I thought about it for a second because
I have somebody banging on my door. Let's see who this is.
I am adding that to my. If you didn't know, when you're looking at these assets in the game here, you can add it to your list of assets as long as it has not been minted. and use it in games that you publish to the gallery. So, like the shoes right now, there are some of these shoes that haven't been listed for sale. Looks like the landowner shoes, which all landowners are going to win the jams for. However, when they are minted, if you own an asset that becomes minted and you don't own it, you won't be able to publish it onto the metaverse. So, just a word of warning. But you can definitely create
I'm not trying to kill the camel.
games in the gallery. Boom! Look at that big hit. Oh.
My 3-year-old's trying to break into the office right now. I don't know if you can hear the constant knocking.
You can kind of, but it's not terrible. It's fine. You're gonna have yourself like a little Jason Bourne, little Indiana Jones here pretty soon. You know.
How about later? Okay. What? And now she wants to play Minecraft and Roblox, neither of which she's ever played before. You're only allowed to play the Sandbox, so.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
only the Sandbox. Only.
You gotta go ask Mommy.
All right. So let's get to some questions here. While let me see. Our asset creator is going to get royalties from third-party sales once it leaves the Sandbox marketplace. There is no intended plan for that, but I believe that you're not going to want to. You're not going to want to take it to a third-party marketplace. I genuinely believe that our marketplace will become the definitive place to buy, sell, resell, trade any assets in the Sandbox, because layer integration is literally right around the corner for layer 2. So
and multiple other reasons besides that too. So not only will we have layer 2, but you'll be able to have a shopping cart to buy multiple assets at the same time and multiple quantities. You can actually do multiple quantities now. You could buy up to 10 copies of an asset at a time now. So that's one way we're able to help kind of mitigate the gas fees in the meantime. And features like that are just going to improve. And we're building them specifically to be Sandbox content friendly. So, you know, we're trying to make the best marketplace that we can for our community.
And Pot Plucker 13 over on Twitch, there will not be more than the 166,464 lands ever. So it's important to understand that what you see on the map right now, if you were on the map on the website and you see these like largely green areas, those are the areas that have been minted. And then the dark gray area, all the way as far left as the giant red Pranksy face, and as far right as the Galaxy Interactive logo. That's as far left to right as the lands will ever go, right? Vertically speaking, they're going to go just barely above the 2 Binance spaces. You can kind of see the little squares up there. And then all the way down to the CoinCheck logo, that's it. So once all those, the gray spaces there are unlocked for further sales in the future, when they're sold, that's it. They're gone. And then it'll only be fully decentralized at that point, where you can purchase from other owners of land, people who maybe decided they don't want to make a game on that space, or they've made all the games that their creative mind can come up with, and they start, start breaking down some of these, maybe these larger estates, things like that. So, in terms of playable space, though, that's a huge amount of space. If you think about each one of these little squares is, 96 meters, right? So let me pull up my calculator because my small brain can't think about how big that is. So we're talking about 38.78 kilometers just left to right on the map. So huge amount of space, huge amount of play space for your players, the people who are going to step into the metaverse. Maybe they never made a game or don't intend to make a game, or maybe they slowly transition into learning how to make games because of this ecosystem. So there's a bunch of space to play, but relatively speaking, not that much space to buy, to create. Okay, I will definitely head over to my Twitter in a bit. and we'll see what's going on. But yes, layer 2 makes it so that fees are negligible, almost nothing. Uh, so what layer 2 means is that instead of processing everything directly on the Ethereum blockchain, a series of transactions is processed on a side chain, which is another blockchain that runs concurrent. And then every once in a while, this blockchain that we run that has minimal fees because it's new and it's a smaller chain, those transactions then get validated, merged onto the Ethereum mainnet blockchain, right? So they are, traceable on the chain, but you don't have to deal with all of the fees and the busyness of the main network that we have currently. So again, it's like super, super fast. The pricing on the remaining lands, Tim W, that is going to be 1,011 sand. So that's the standard price for any land that doesn't include the additional NFT assets. And so if you were one of the original purchasers, good news for you. When the other assets are getting burned, that means that what you purchased is even more rare now. So if you're the kind of person who purchased and you got yourself a nice like Sand X spaceship and the Buzz Sandman, I think that was the name of that asset, and the sand helmet.
Sand
So
Rider.
you've got the full Sand Rider. Okay, good call. Good call. Buzz, Sand Rider. Very good. So if you've got those three assets, you've got yourself a nice set. All the other ones are getting burned that you see yellow squares for in the map now. So they're even more limited. And if somebody says, hey, I want to have this, this space type theme in my world, they can possibly pick it up from you on a third-party outlet if you are willing to sell it, or maybe they'll offer you, but the only way to get it is to have already purchased it. There's no opportunity to buy those now. So Immutable X will not be the platform that we use, just so that now I know what it is, but I'm not supposed to talk about it because we want it to be a nice, fun surprise for you guys, and you'll see which layer 2 service we have finalized on. Would there be optimization problems if you utilize the 96 by 96 by 128 for like 75 or 70% with assets? I don't believe so. As it is, it used to be a problem to have a bunch of assets stacked up and put in together. But as we have updated the software and we have been optimization focused in the last, let's say, I think 5 major updates, or maybe we call them minor because we only went from version 0.53, I think was the first significant optimization patch that we had. And now we're in the 0.6.2 where it is very optimized relatively, right? Alex and I run on like super high-end PCs, but you
you can't.
it's tough for us.
Results may vary.
Yeah, because we're over here, getting like 240 FPS at this point. But that said, it was like 60 to 100. So I think that is going to show out if you have a lower end graphics card. It used to be that I would recommend somebody would need to have a 1050 graphics card. And I know Andy Ritchie used to operate on like a 750, I think, like a 750 Ti NVIDIA card, which is like 5 years old. Now that's changed. They've updated their things, but yeah.
Good. This guy hits hard. Wow, how am I supposed to beat this one?
Let's see.
I didn't pick up any extra swords, no. This little pirate just
so
knocks
old
me
G
out.
right now, as it stands, the original creator, when you make a sale, and I don't think this is going to change based on the white paper. The original creator gets the original sale. They don't get a cut of resale. I know some platforms do offer that, where, and this isn't really related to the Sandbox or anything, but some art platforms, if you create your art on there, you can sell it, and every time it resells, there's another like 5%. But in our system, the way that it's designed, whatever the artist wants to list an asset for, let's say they want to sell it for 100 sand. If you sell your asset for 100 sand, somebody picks that up, the listing is going to say 105 sand to buy it. And so the extra 5 cent goes into the foundation fund, and that helps fund all of our programs from the Game Makers Fund. It funds the seasonal content, that sort of thing. So it'll keep those programs alive while also keeping it decentralized in terms of like funding those sorts of ways to keep new users coming in, and which will be more and more important when the metaverse does go live, because you'll have users being able to play to earn, and so it'll fund those kinds of systems.
Resale I can talk. Resale royalties is something that is being discussed. It's not like set in stone. It's something that's being looked into. So, this is not. Oh, he's healing me. I just like straight up went to attack him. He ran at me, and I was like, oh.
He's gonna get you.
So yeah, it's this isn't set in stone that it's definitely not going to have resale royalties. It's just not part of the initial proposed platform.
Right.
So it's a possibility, and the more people talk about it that are interested in it, I would say the more interested the upper management is.
Sure.
But yeah, we can't make any promises that it's definitely going to come or not, because that's not been decided yet.
And it's important to understand what that would mean for. Here's some feedback I'm going to give on this game real quick, because that is the intention of these Wednesday live streams. Is that we break it down for you and talk about how it could be optimized. If you have units that are often killing you when you're running through this, you may want to implement a type of checkpoint, right? So that token that you have at the very beginning that is a spawner, make that exist in multiple places, and wherever you die, you will spawn at the closest one.
Yeah, this little flag here would be perfect for a respawn point.
Exactly. It looks like a nice checkpoint, so why not make it into one? And then you'll spawn near the flag, and you can run back up the hill again, because Alex has killed quite a few units at this point. But I do like the level design overall. Maybe too much hopping. You might want to make some like stairs or other objects like rocks or something that make it look like you could just walk up it, and then place a collisions on, visibility off ramp on it, so that you can walk up that, and you can use any asset that's flat and clean to do that. But those would be options. Theo, the sandbox will not be playable on a browser. It will be playable in a client, and then with the intention that as we go, you're going to use the client as a user on a PC or a Mac, and then you will use Android, iOS very shortly down the road. So
consoles are also on the roadmap, but
yes,
not for, I think, either next year or the year after.
Yeah, it is set for 2023, I think, was consoles. Maybe it's 2022. It's the year after our mobile launch finishes. We're going to start working on consoles, and that'll be an easier rollout for the Xbox, I believe, than it would be for Sony and the PlayStation, just purely based on the way that their marketplace operates and the way their architecture is slightly different. And Xbox is essentially just running a copy of Windows already. It's basically a Windows PC. So let's see. I don't believe that poses friction for older users, because, I mean, if you're looking at Alex and myself, we're 30, plus. Stop counting, right? But the stop time, please. We're dying.
I don't know. I have a fondness for the number 32, so that's
There you go. We're gonna just stop here. I'll see you next year.
I'll see you at 64.
Really. There you go. But the older users, there's a certain distinction. Like my father is playing games like World of Tanks, where our lead in marketing comes from, wargaming.net. So he's been playing that. He's been playing games since like MechWarrior, and he's installing his own stuff. And he's 60 plus, right? I think.
Your dad?
He's getting old. I don't know.
My dad's 60? Not quite 60.
Am I? Am I 60? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm a terrible son. That's what you've learned right now, right here on this live stream. Uh,
The days
let's
go
see.
by, water flowing under. This is not my age. These mini orcs, they're a little OP.
Sure.
I think.
Okay. Pepin, I want to address. I'm sorry.
guys.
They are a little OP. I would agree with that, Alex. I'm sorry for interrupting that.
No,
I know
it's
you're
okay.
trying to.
My suggestion here would now equipment's been a bit broken at the moment, so this is not the developer's fault here, or the game creator's fault, I should say. But equipment is coming back very soon. It's already, some of the pieces have already been updated, and we're deploying it with more of the swords and armor and stuff. So pretty soon you should be able to fully deck out your characters. So make sure if you're putting high level, super strong enemies in, that you give your players something to fight them with, because this guy takes me out more than half my health in one hit. So either I have to constantly roll around, which...
Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Dark Souls.
Not,
Put him in the corner. If you put him in the corner, then you can just roll into him.
Nobody puts mini orc in the corner.
No. So like you stay on the wall, right? And then you can just roll into the wall because you're invulnerable when you roll.
Yeah.
And then you just roll while spamming the click. Get that Dark Souls. I did this during the Game Jam number 3. If you watched that, Alex and I live streamed all those games when we play tested them. And that was a good time. But anyway, Pepin, I want to answer this question real quick. And it's not so much a question, but a comment. So they say, sorry to say, but it's expensive to pay $600 for a piece of land. How are you going to make it easily accessible for everyone to do their own thing? Because this will chase people away. And I would say to that point, it's important to understand that we did not necessarily set it at $600. The price is set at 1,011 sand. And the market, in terms of the demand, in terms of, what are people willing to pay for sand, is doing its own thing, right? So the price is derived from that demand exclusively, and Alex, I gotta say, this is looking way too hard.
Yeah,
way too difficult.
I'm thinking of just running past the
and the number of times
and the orcs that
you've had to climb this hill
Yeah.
every time.
the mini orc didn't count towards the quest.
The checkpoint definitely has to move at this point if you keep the difficulty up this high, and or maybe put like a sign out there that or a person that just says run. Like put an NPC down there that pops up little text over their head that says run, so that you're not compelled to want to kill all these units. You could just tell your users to run past it. But anyway, let's go back to the value assessment portion of the show.
Oh, what?
At $600, the land is used for game developers to earn money, right? It is a proper investment. With a play-to-earn system, all the games that we make, all the games that are funded through the gamefund.sandbox.game, part of the foundation fund, all of those games are going to be free to play, where users will be able to play for free, earn sand for free, and then they can use that sand and they can give it to you as a developer, right? They can come in, they can play your game. So you make a game, whether it be a quick game that you're charging like an arcade, you want people to pay 1 sand to play it, right? And you get 1 million people to play it, you've got 1 million sand. Cool. That's an ROI, right? That's already better than your 1,011 sand that it costs. The opposite, you can sell an NFT and make it like a ticket, right?
Ooh.
A ticket to a concert. And so you paid 1,011 sand, and you have people coming in and they're paying you 50 sand for permanent access to your land. And maybe you update the game regularly or you change it entirely. You can't run past that guy.
I've been sprinting. I've been sprinting. The little see the little clouds I'm kicking up. That's sprinting.
So it's important. It's important to understand that even if you were not the type of person who is buying sand directly to get land at later, let's say we get past all the land sales and you're just going user to user and you're acquiring land that way, a user may spend some time and they're playing and they're earning and they're saving and they get enough sand to buy it at a third party option on the marketplace where it's just your land and you're thinking you'll sell it for whatever amount of sand you want. And they're acquiring sand slowly by playing the game as the years go on. They get enough sand, they purchase the land, they start making a game, and they have their own value proposition, right? So the market will be free and open for years to come. And I think that you'll find that the cost as it, wow, look at how many mobs there are. You supposed to kill all these mobs?
Well, that's one confusing thing. It looks like the Skeleton King, or the Skeleton King is actually a lot lower level than the orcs. So if I can just kill him, I might win the game.
Okay.
So I got past
and that's
him.
the thing is it's clearly a quest to kill them all.
Well, so, I was able to select it. So all those people I talked to at the beginning, I was able to say, hey, yes, I want this quest. Of course, I had no idea that the enemies were that hard.
Right. It's just like, yeah, I got this. Don't worry. I'm the hero.
Right.
Wreck.
Yeah, and I mean, I could cheese it more with the rolling, but that's not my style.
Yes. Jipple over on Twitch. Sorry, I am pretty far back on the messages here. You asked, can I repeat the size of land tiles and convert it to kilometers? So already it is in meters. Or is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 96 meters by 96 meters is the size of a land. In this game that you're seeing right here, you can see how much space. This is a 1x1 land. So if you zoom in on the map and you're looking at the tiniest tile on the map, that's this game that you're watching right now. So the total size
there we go.
Of that.
That's a 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter block I'm standing on right there.
Right. So the total size is 38.784 kilometers. That's all of the lands. That's not square. So that's that's just a straight line going north to south on the map. Total square kilometers is 1.5 billion. Billion kilometers total. So huge. And that doesn't count the airspace, the
kilometers
extra,
or
the
meters?
Extra 128. That's just square, not cubed volume. So a lot of space for games to be made, games to be played.
Did you jump from meters to kilometers when you said it was billion? I'm not questioning.
Nope, you're right. You're
Okay.
right.
So you got to divide them by 1,000 first. So
it'd be 1.5 million kilometers.
There we go.
Yeah. Sorry. Good call.
I was like, wait a minute, that sounds bigger than what I remember.
What are you doing? What are we doing?
And that's still a lot of space. That's like the size of Rhode Island, I think. Like,
maybe. Let's see. Let's look at countries that are that size, just for fun.
Bigger than Vatican City, I know that. Okay, let me get to the king. Gotta get to the king. I've almost got it. Oh no, he's harder to kill. No, okay, I'm done. It's too much running, and I can only get a few hits in before they hit me twice, which is how many hits it takes to kill me. So we're gonna move on to a different game here. We got 10 minutes. We can do something else. The Earth is...
That's roughly the size of Mongolia.
Wow.
Worth of games to play, So just go explore. As soon as this metaverse unlocks and everybody starts getting these games published, man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. You really will. You're gonna have so much to do. You won't know what to do with yourself.
Man, I still play the same games that I started playing 10 years ago. I've been playing Yoshi's Island 2, which I beat in like high school. So I've been replaying that. So I'm never going to run out of stuff to play here.
Rasguru, I can passively confirm that we are not coming to Stadia. And that's just purely on my suspicion as a nerd that the Stadia will probably not exist when we get done with console development. That's my bold prediction for you today. No offense, but I don't believe Google has been supporting it.
We will, however.
Yes.
We will, however, be on the Atari VCS.
Yes, that's right. We are on the Atari VCS, which is a hybrid console PC.
I love how straightforward this is. Cheating elevator.
Cheating elevator. That's very nice. I like this. Who made this game, Alex?
Oh, I forgot to check the name. Let's see. Let's go back.
Let's have a look. Hacker man.
Yes, the Sandbox avatar is based on. I mean, the proportions are kind of cartoonish, but the overall size, the Sandbox avatar is a little bit under 2 meters tall. Depends on how big your hair is for your avatar, but roughly just under 2 meters tall. So we were trying to make things so you can kind of eyeball it, and it's 32 voxels per meter. So we try to keep it very consistent that way. It makes things easier to design. So Prism Parkour is by Starstrike. That's a cool name. It's very like old school Star Wars sound to it.
So I'm hanging out over here, Alex, and I feel like I have talked the whole stream so far.
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
But the questions are coming in. You know what I mean? Like I can't just let them sit there. That would be mean.
Sure.
I don't want to do that to you fine folks. And so I'm so far back in the chat, I could probably go for another hour. But we're not going to do that to you. But what we are going to do to you is we're going to post a link in the chat right now. And that link is your eligibility. I mentioned earlier. This is your chance. It's happening right now to win a Wizzy the Blue NFT asset. All I have to do is press the refresh on this tool so that I can share that with you. And then there we go. So on each and every platform, whether you're watching over on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, or DLive Theta, you should see a link in the chat right now. And in that link, you can enjoy your eligibility for a Wizzy the Blue NFT asset. These are unique to this stream exclusively. When you come hang out with us on Wednesdays, on Saturdays, and on Mondays, you can win this Wizzy the Blue NFT asset. It is limited to 1 per user ever. We have an ongoing list of all the users and all the wallets that have ever won. So when you enter into this, those who do win can never win again. This is also limited to 200 assets. Alex, what happened? Did you fall from the cheater's elevator?
I did not take the cheater's elevator. I took the legit way. And it looks like there's a magic carpet that I was supposed to take, but there's not a lot of labeling here. I mean, I do appreciate. I am taking the cheater's elevator now, just so that way people don't have to sit through me. Whoa, it goes fast. So they don't have to sit and wait for me here. But I think there's a magic carpet coming this way. I'm not sure where exactly it ends up. Maybe over here? No? Wait. I'm confused. Whoa, that's a big hole. Okay, maybe we go in there. So this looks pretty cool. Oh, there's the magic carpet. Where does it land? Oh, and I just fell down.
Do we have time? Alex, do we have time?
For what?
Loy, what's the name of your game?
Oh, and I died. Sakura Sunset. Sure. Yeah. So this looks like an interesting start. But I would say we need some people to interact with, or some signs to tell us where we're supposed to be going, because this is pretty big and open, and we're not sure where we're supposed to be going or what we're supposed to be doing. And
Yeah.
maybe, with some more exploration I could figure it out, but right off the bat, I would spend the time to run around this and look around, but some other players might just want to go for something a little more like immediate.
Yeah, and to that point, I think if you're making a game, you don't necessarily have to go the full like hand-holding way where you have tutorial to start your game. But that said, you will definitely want to have some kind of, hey, go this way, do that thing first, and then, if you wanted to open up to a big wide world, then you can do that. Any RPG style game does that exact thing. Even games like Diablo that are meant to like grind and continue to try to get gear has that story that leads you along the way and say this is how you acquire skills, or learn how to use these mechanics without having to have a heavy hand holding. Games like Skyrim, they start you out, the classic, hey, you wake up, you were knocked out, oh, you're finally awake, that kind of situation. And it's like, here's a sword, do the thing, of course, equipment isn't really a thing here, but you get somebody to talk to you. In Link, the first Link's Adventure games, The Legend of Zelda, just the original The Legend of Zelda. I don't know why my brain couldn't come up with that name.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
You get that, like, it's not safe to go alone. Take this,
right.
So give somebody the first, and that game's wide open. The original Zelda is super wide open.
You can do it
where
all
like
out of
you
order.
could just ignore that and go somewhere else immediately. Yeah. But it tells the tale automatically because you go somewhere else and you can't hang. You're dead.
Just kind of a directional prompt.
Like, yeah.
The first thing you see in here is cheating elevator, and you're like, well, I don't want to cheat, so you have the option to go up or go out, and then it's just like it's a little bit overwhelming, too many different options.
So we are at 162 responses, and I apologize, Alex, but I'm going to close the form up right now, folks. I see you out here on all these platforms, about 125 active viewers, so I think some folks maybe have us on mute. It does help if you don't have the stream muted, then turn it down to like 1%, and we'll see more of those of you as viewers on our counters. Ironically, those people will not be able to hear me say that. But I digress. I'm going to type RNG in my favorite browser, and then I am going to put in 162 as the max responses. I'm going to hit generate. User number 91 will be today's winner. Let's see who that is. Over on YouTube, Dimitrescu has won today. Is that 2 YouTubes in a row? Has that ever happened? I don't know if it ever has. I'm looking. Yeah, it happened one time, but that was when I did one on Nexonic's stream. It has never happened. Oh, I'm wrong. This is actually 3 YouTubes in a row. 3 in a row, because on Monday's stream with Panda Pops, we also had a winner from youtube.com. So it looks like our audience is growing over on YouTube, Twitch. You folks on the Twitch chat, you're going to have to catch up. You know what I mean? Get more people in here hanging out so we can see some Twitch winners next week. Maybe somebody coming over from Periscope. I'd like to see that too. That's the Twitter platform for those who aren't familiar. So for sure, if you did not win today, keep in mind that the Wizzy the Blue NFT assets will be distributed on each and every stream here, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So come back, hang out, play with us, share us your games, and we'll get that feedback. Alex, what's the game that we're going to close with again today?
Was Sakura something.
Loy, can you one more time?
I'm scrolling back trying to find it.
If you know what page it's on, that's
Sakura Sunset.
Sakura Sunset, that's right. So once again, because I am being asked over on youtube.com, Dimitrescu. That is one word. I'm just trying to enunciate it correctly. That is our winner for this stream. So, but again, stick with us Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. You can still win. There are still more Wizzies to be distributed. And you can use this Wizzy the Blue asset inside your game creations. So it's always fun when we were doing the game jams, Alex, when we saw the Wizzy the Blues or the Santa Wizzy that we distributed just for last Christmas. Wow.
I see Sakura Sunrise.
Isn't that what you said?
Sakura Sunset is the one we're being asked to play.
Oh.
But maybe there's a confusion?
Nope. They say Sakura Sunset. I just published it again.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, it
okay.
is.
So I think maybe it was a typo.
Okay.
So
Pepin, can you merge two pieces of 1x1 land into a single 2x1? Yes.
If they're next to each other.
But they must be next to each other on the map. Yeah. Because while you can't see it inside the game maker, also it's important that when you design it, and I'm not sure if this is the case, but I speculate that this is the case, so I recommend it every time. And Alex, you're probably more knowledgeable about this, but if you have a 2x1 arrangement on the map that is horizontally aligned, make sure that when you start your game and the design of that game, you draw that horizontal line on the box that pops up that says, what shape do you want your game to be? Don't draw a vertical line because on the map, when it gets minted, it has to be able to fit into the spaces that you own. And when you're in the metaverse and you run to the edge of the land, it's going to say, hey, you're about to go into this experience. That's so funny. Is that a flying and falling?
Yeah.
I think they have
I'm not sure what's
and it's flying.
I'm able to push it a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Huh.
I'm taking the secret of my treasure to the grave.
Yeah, it's probably got collisions on and flies with gravity. I'll bet you that's what's happening because I only see that glitch when I see the asset has flight and gravity.
Press E on the cactus for a surprise. What cactus? What cactus?
And another thing to further elaborate about that 2x1 space is that you cannot have lands that don't connect operate like they do because the metaverse just reads the map data. There really is a north, a south, an east, and a west in your game, whether you know it or not, when it gets published. So if you have two spaces that are like this with another space between them, you're not going to be able to design a 2x1 game just because you own two lands. They must be connected, touching, and adjacent.
I'm not sure what's going on.
This is hilarious, by the way. I don't know what's going on here.
I think they're like, NPCs with gravity on, so they try walking, but you can knock them over.
Juggling themselves.
Yeah. Tactical roll.
Do a barrel roll, Fox. Kind of mosh pit is that? Liquidity mining is not ending next week. There's always a little phase where we refill the pool. So at this time, I am keep in mind that this isn't honestly. It's been such a automatic thing for Seb because of the response to the platform that it's not even discussed. We don't even talk about it in a marketing meeting. He just says like, "Okay, I've refilled the pool," and then you'll see it over on Twitter. So it's quite straightforward.
Is this bunny cool. Pole dancing?
It's just ominous.
Is that what's?
Oh no, nah. That's not happening like you think, Alex. That's not happening.
There's some interesting mechanics going on here. So this dragon, I picked up this dragon accidentally. I didn't mean to pick up the dragon, but apparently it keeps on attacking this fire pit over and over, as if it's igniting it on fire. But that makes it actually look like the fire is burning, with the way it does that. It's just that it shows the health on it. If you could,
Yeah,
if you turn off the health bar for the fire, it would actually just like look like it's sparking over and over without seeing a damage.
that's kind of cool. Interesting
Um,
idea. But I don't think there's well, there would be a way if you made the death animation -2
oop.
as well, then
You
it
could just
wouldn't blink
what?
with red.
I was trying to interact with the other girl, and apparently I
You
picked
just
up a
pick
car
up the
instead.
car.
I just picked up a
Just
car
throw
and
it.
flipped it.
Get the heck out of here. Get out of here. We don't need any cars over here. Get out.
It seems to be magnetically
Yeah.
pulled over this. I'm not sure. It keeps coming back. Maybe it's just
Yeah, Pepin.
what?
The only place where you actually have to like think about it is in the game maker, right? Gosh, you just hurled that car.
And
Ugh.
it
And it's
finds
just,
its way
just driving
back.
Don't even worry about it. It's a boomerang car.
It is
you know?
apparently.
No
I'm
worries.
thinking that it's like a farmer and it's trying to find the girl or something.
Like, here's the
get
thing.
out of here!
Here's the thing. I want to say in my heart of hearts that there's a lot of stuff to work on in this game, but then I remember that the theme is a glitch in the metaverse, and it doesn't get any glitchier than what's happening here. So like, if you can find a way to take all of these silly mechanics that are happening and put a game around that, that's great. This is great. Like, build a story around this. Find a way to, at the very end of the game, fix all these things where like maybe all the assets despawn and respawn as functional real things because you finished the main quest. I think this would be a great game. Just in theme wise, right? And then just for like a pure comedy kind of game, it's already there. It's already got, this is funny, it's cool. I'm liking what I'm seeing. So anyway, the next
Park.
land sale, Danny.
Whoa, hey.
There's not. I don't have a confirmed time on this, but I would suggest you check at 1 p.m. UTC on the website, or just before that. When the land sale will go live, you will start to see a timer, but the delay, which is not typical. We've never had a kind of situation like this before. So what I would say is you would want to check and see a timer. It may even just be one that says there's only 5 minutes left, right? But a timer will pop up, and that will then have the refresh process come through where they will be selectable again. But the time that it's going to take is going to take based on having to rebuild all of the smart contracts. So each one of those 1x1s has a smart contract associated, needs to be replaced with just the land and not the assets. And then those assets will be burned. And then again, just to elaborate, because the questions are asked in the chat, and I'm going to do both Alex A and Pepin over on YouTube. If you have two 1x1s next to each other, if it's horizontal, they're already merged. You don't have to manually merge them. It just won't look that way on the map as it is now. But in the metaverse, when you post an experience on there, they will very clearly show that your experience is a 2x1, and it'll be one image and or text block that you choose when that feature is ready. So don't worry about that too much. Just make your game, make sure it's the same shape as the alignment that you have on the map. Even if it was a 3x1 later, let's say you buy the other one, just make sure that it's horizontal if it's horizontal, or vertical if it's vertical on the NFTs that you own. And then Alex, one game on two separate blocks that are far away from each other.
Not doable.
You cannot at this time, but you may be able to in the future. So currently we have a system that allows us as the sandbox, while we are playtesting and breaking it, right? Where you can teleport from one NFT published land to another. But that system may or may not be sold to users. You would have noticed this if you were part of land sales in the pre-sale 4.2 and later. where when we published the Medium article, some of those lands had like a little swirly teleporter on it. That indicates that the Sandbox plots had these teleporters on them that can take you to different primary the Sandbox locations on the map without ever having to leave the game and zoom out on the map. That said, what I would recommend that you do, because it's going to be pretty easy for your users to do this, just put a sign at the end or like a quest that completes when you finish a game that says, would you like to do part 2? Go to this comma this on the map, right? Like 1,1 on the map will be in, I don't think that's one of our spaces, but for the example, 1,1 is the space that you go to get part 2 of this game. And then users will be able to click the map portion in the game client, and then they can go find yours. I believe there's a search function in there. Can't confirm that. If there's not, there will be, because I'm going to make it a problem. You know what I mean? Let's see. So hopefully that helps.
I could, in theory, jump on that. I'm not sure where it would take me. It doesn't really go that close to anything, at least as far as I can see. Sometimes those circles don't loop perfectly, so it might help you get up to the PDs up there. Those are the play to earn mascots. Ow. Okay. So yeah, I was trying to get up this path here and make it up there. But I think we are about out of time today, so maybe we'll revisit this one next Wednesday. So yeah, I mean, this definitely, like Joseph said, this definitely follows the glitch in a metaverse kind of theme. Maybe some more narrative stuff would help kind of, tie things together a little bit. Because sometimes it's hard to tell like what's supposed to be an intentional glitch and what's maybe an accidental glitch. Like right now,
right.
I can't pick up the keys, and it looks like I'm supposed to be able to pick up the keys, but nothing happens when I interact with them. So, I'm not sure if that's on purpose or not. So it can be a little confusing. So you want like the glitches to kind of be obvious, like when the trash bin turned into an enemy. And it's like, okay, that was definitely on purpose. It startled me a little bit, because I wasn't actually looking at my screen when he spawned. He's in the wall right now. Okay, yeah, like that.
Yeah, and,
I had looked away from my screen for just a second when he spawned, so I turned back and he was about ready to attack me. So that's clearly on purpose. But then the keys, I'm not so sure. I do love the car though. The car is hilarious. The self-parking car is hilarious. I'm curious how you did that.
That's definitely the only thing, and I'd like to, if you can do this before next week, maybe we'll check it out again on Wednesday, but making a story around all of your glitches so that it just ties it together. It's the glue, right? So having that story is going to shape anything that you want to make sense, because the user is going to follow your narrative, right? You don't necessarily want to make them make up their own narrative, because it's not like a social hub space. This is a one-person experience, right? So definitely develop a nice fleshed out story for this. Cool. Hugo, you can make an 18 plus game, but we don't have a required content filter for some countries right now. So I would say, boy, I don't know. We have some, look at Hack the Tau as an example reference material for like what I would say are the limits of that. But don't worry too much about, like, obviously, like, you got swords, you got combat, things are dying. We've seen some games. Oh, I like that. Ride the little techno gorilla. But yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. The target audience for us is not like necessarily somebody who's 10 years old, though obviously those consumers will be in the ecosystem. I think they're, you could make it so that the very first part of your game just says, hey, this game is rated for Peggy 16 or whatever, and run it. They'll agree to that when they complete that quest to start the game.
Yeah, I don't.
So
Yeah, I don't think you can actually say it's Peggy 16 because I think that's like an official.
that's true. Yeah,
but you could say like this game's intended for 16 plus or whatever.
right.
And yeah, we do want to implement some sort of filtering because I know that I, as a parent, am interested in having my kids play this eventually when they're old enough, and I know that some of our viewers have kids who are interested in playing, so and a bunch of our content, Shaun the Sheep, Care Bears, Smurfs is all family friendly stuff. So,
Right.
we want. Good grief! I just didn't even see that hole there. I just walked right through it. So we do want to set up a system for that. So at the moment, there's no restrictions on the gallery. We do have, if you check out the terms of service for our website, there is some recommendations, and we reserve the right to moderate some content at the moment. We're working on making those rules more clear, and setting up systems to make it fair for everybody. Because as we as gamers ourselves like all sorts of different stuff too. So
yeah,
we want this to be open for whatever your interests are.
Folklore, the deadline to submit assets for the game jam is 1 week before it ends. And that's just so that I have time to go approve all of them. I would prefer if you continue to submit them as you create them. But I understand that there are many users that want to keep their creations so that only they have time to use them, if that makes sense. So once you submit it and I approve it, then the asset becomes public and anyone can use it, which in previous game jams, I know that almost every game was published into the gallery in the last 2 days. But in order for me to approve, right now I've already got there's 30 or so assets that are still pending because the user didn't submit them correctly. So if you haven't submitted some before, and I believe you have based on your username there, make sure that when you submit them to me, you're doing so by following the guide on the VoxEdit section of the website sandbox.game. Check the create, go to VoxEdit, watch the third video, because if they're not submitted for approval in the website, I can't actually approve them. I can see them and I can moderate them. I can tell you what to iterate on if something is obviously broken, but I couldn't possibly approve them if you don't submit to have them approved. So
Right.
Oh man,
I know it's
you were
that
close. You were close.
I keep tiptoeing a little bit too far there.
Hugo, drinking beer is not considered 18 plus content if it is only drinking beer. In terms of what the ESRB would do in the US, you need to basically have 2-3 things at minimum that are 18 plus tasks in your game in order for it to become mature. Like if it just had nudity, it would be a 13 game. The same would be true for a film. Alex, oh, that's a lot of damage. Did you go all the way up there just to come out?
Oh, that was low.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hey, you want to do this giant jump puzzle? You got all this big struggle going on. No, bop, bop.
Turn around the corner. Done.
Get out of here. Yeah. Let's see.
I don't think I'll be able to get past that part.
Arctic, based on a request by the creators of the Shaun the Sheep.
Oh no.
That sale is postponed just for a little bit. So we have more details coming on that soon, but I think that you should have seen that over on our Twitter that they requested that we postpone it for a little bit. I think they have some things that they want to work on before we go live with that. What's required to get your Voxel NFT into the Sandbox marketplace? Diego, if you would like, you can check out the article. If you're making a game for the Game Jam, go to the medium.com/sandbox-game. And on that page, you will see the Game Jam. There's a form there where you can apply to be an artist just for the Game Jam. And those artists don't get to sell NFTs. You can't mint them at this time, but you do have the ability to make assets and you can submit them for approval. Those people who fill out that form, nice, just jump on their heads. Don't even worry about it. He's out of here. I'm sorry, I'm watching Alex do this wonderful thing. Okay, doors open, and it's gonna slap. It's gonna throw you up. You didn't have a choice. Okay, you had to go. Now you got the coin. You got the coin. Anyway, so you can submit to be an artist. I just love watching Alex play this game. You can submit to be an artist there, and once you are an approved artist there, I'll give you a form and an email, and then that emailed form allows me to. Oh, they're spitting out coins. Look at that. Ancient treasures. The form allows me to see what you've created, approve what you've created, like we do with all of the other artists that are already part of the foundation fund. But those assets will not be minted with catalysts or gems, so you can't submit it with those requests. They can't be minted as art, so you can't submit it with those requests. You just submit it as a plain item, and then later, when minting is allowed for all users, we can go through the process. If I have to do some extra legwork to enable those, I will do that manually with you for you. So I know that there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of assets to approve, but nonetheless, we'll deal with that when it goes.
We are working on, so we do recognize that gems and catalysts are important for making powered items. Did that tree? I just picked up a tree. I just jumped on top of a tree. It's like, now you have a tree.
You have acquired tree.
So that totally broke my train of thought. What was I trying to say? Gems and catalysts. So we recognize that those are important for setting up the power levels for like your equipment and your enemies and stuff in the game. So we are working on a way to let people in the Game Jam be able to set up what they need for those. We haven't quite determined what the process is going to be because we don't have a back end set up for that yet, or a front end, I should say. So we are stay tuned on that. You may want to revisit some of your assets if you want to power things up, but we're going to try to get that information out to you ASAP. I think that was it. Go ahead.
Your question, Loyloy, do we get gems and catalysts from staking? It's important to understand that you can get gems and catalysts from staking, but only when staking is enabled in lands. Currently, the staking program is a Uniswap UniV2 token, which means that somebody contributed some ETH and some sand in an equal portion, and then they show that kind of ticket that they get in our staking system, and then we reward those people with a portion of 1,500. I think the last one was 2 million sand in this last month, proportionate to how much they have staked. But gems and catalysts are ERC20 tokens, just in the same way that sand is. So it's possible to sell it, buy it, trade it, and it is possible. We may, this hasn't been confirmed, but we may just sell it to start the process for everyone. And then after the initial wave, do it as a staking system. So we'll see where that goes when we get closer to that point. But there is, with all the systems that we have a process, right, to get through in order to make sure that it works. And then where did that guy come from?
I spawned him from the skeleton down here.
And you can climb them. That's cool.
I think that's how I get out of here.
Wait, what?
I'm trapped in here. I can't leave.
Yeah.
I tried attacking that dragon, but he's too high up, and there's a hole here, but there's something in the way, and I can't figure out how to get rid of it. So,
Okay.
I think I climb up on top of
Use
them.
the stump to get out. Loylay says use the stump.
That stump?
But you do not need to be a landowner
Okay.
right now to stake sand because of the Uniswap program. Later, if you want to generate gems and catalysts, then you do need to be a landowner in order to stake your sand in your land. But that's based on the plan as it was. Can you not pick those up? Are you supposed to be able to?
Well, they move around, so I'm thinking that they're there on purpose, but they can't be picked up. So I'm not sure where to get the last 4 coins for.
Oh, yeah. Smubbler. I don't know if Binance is available, but you know what? If you were to go to coinmarketcap.com and you just search sand, you can see the list of all the exchanges and then see which of those exchanges is available in your region. I know in the US we have some struggles with that where, like I couldn't use binance.com to buy sand. I had to have another method. And we had hit BTC as a function, right? There's dozens and dozens of different exchanges all around the world, so it should be accessible to you. It's just finding which ones your local government has approved for trade. So cool. All right, Alex. I don't know. We're about 30 minutes over now on the stream.
Yeah, just unraveling the mysteries here. I got rid of that one. I'm not sure what other coins I can get.
How do you find the treasure? Is that quest even completable?
Well, I think there's some things that didn't go back to the lever area. I'm trying to remember where the lever was. Let me just.
The lever is in this building at the end.
It's in. Yeah, it's in hidden back here.
For the last part of the game. Cool.
So I hit it. What happens? Does something open?
Did something open?
In between the lava. This right here? There's nothing there.
So this goes on to another point, Loy. As a developer of a game, I recommend that you use 2 accounts. One account being your developer account, where you have all the assets that you want to use, and the other account being something that looks like you just registered it and you've never used it at all. And then when you publish a game into the gallery, log out, sign in with the other account that's just a raw, plain account, and test your game. Play it and see if it plays like you intended it to play and like it played when you were in the developer account. This is true whether you're a huge AAA studio or just you. Everybody should do this when they're making games because you want to see what breaks when it's not actually you playing it. So that's, and I got another question here. How does a staking for sand work exactly? I'm only used to staking Cardano from my hard wallet, but it doesn't look like it will be the same. Yeah, so Pepin, right now, our staking system is that, and you can see this on the medium.com article, but you take an equal US dollars value of sand and ETH, and then you contribute both of those into the staking pool for Uniswap. Okay. And having done that, when you do it, and again, you'll want to do your research, make sure that it's a worthwhile investment based on your determination. When you get this stake completed, and there's an on-chain fee in gas for doing so, you will receive Uniswap V2 tokens. Those Uni V2 tokens are automatically associated with your Etherscan. Okay. You should be able to see them in a wallet like MetaMask. And then you can take those onto staking.sandbox.game. You can contribute your stake there, showing those tokens. The tokens are then removed from your wallet and put into the staking pool on our end. and that will make it so that, and I don't think you can hit that other one.
I'm not sure what getting rid of the first one did, but I see that there's gold coins over here.
But
We're so close.
That stake, then you're automatically earning on that page, and you'll see it tick up about once every minute. You'll see the sand that you're earning for your proportionate amount of stake. And when you're done, when you're ready, you can either choose to claim the sand and leave the stake in there, or claim and unstake, and then go back to Uniswap, trade your V2 tokens back to ETH and sand. They will, when they get traded back, be again a proportionate amount equal in US dollars value. So what does that mean? That means that, let's say you donated 1 sand and 1 ETH if they were worth exactly the same amount of money, right? But then tomorrow, ETH is worth more and sand is worth less. When you get it back, you're going to actually get more sand tokens and less ETH back, but same equal value of money. So it is earning you sand separately from that all the way along the way.
I'm not entirely sure how I got up here, but it worked.
Only one line.
Oh no! What?
What happened?
It trolled me. Oh, good grief.
You got to jump, Alex.
Oh, well, I didn't know there was lava on the other side.
Oh, main digital. No, you can't actually create sand from gold or anything like that. The representations in the games are just that, representations. They are not the asset itself. The ERC20 token sand is not created in the games per se. Play to earn programs that we will have distribution, but all right, this is a situation where I would just jump on a ladder. Not like, so you grab the front of one, but just jump on one. I think it will work regardless.
I wasn't sure which one to pick because on the previous 2 sections, only one had collision. So you had to figure out which one would actually send you up.
Yeah. Fair enough. Cool. All right. You've won, Alex.
Well, I beat that quest. I don't. Are the Loy, are the coins over here supposed to be collectible? Because there's 3 here, and I'm missing 3. But it seems like I can't actually pick them up. The coins are from PD. Well, how do I get to PD? Am I supposed to ride the? Somebody suggested riding this thing. Can I? Oh, almost. No, get back. Get back. I almost made it on top.
All right, Alex. I'll be right back. 1 sec.
Yeah. Ooh. No, we almost got it. We almost get. Oh. Oh, Tater Tot Tuesday. Monkey Junkie. What was your? Remind me what your question was, because I can't scroll back in the chat right now. You can jump from the upper area. Oh yeah, if I go between the columns, that seems like a lot easier. Oh, I see. The thing pushes me through the wall. Is that what that's doing? Pepin, is that regarding the staking? I'm trying to remember if we did a video on staking. I don't remember if we did or not. I'll see if I could find, after we're done with this level, I'll see if I can find a video on staking, because it is, I'm pretty sure somebody made a video on staking. It's pretty pretty simple once you have the, you just have to have the ETH and the sand in your wallet. But I will There we go. Yay, we got all the coins. Yeah, as soon as we're done with this, we'll give it a check. So does the game end automatically here, or is that it? I'm taking the secret of my treasure to the grave, but I have your treasure. So you can already show assets from OpenSea. If you have the OpenSea link, then you can show those. I imagine we'll support more platforms as time goes on. So if you have something from Wax or other places, I'm not sure what the plans are for the NFT display. There was a quest from the fireman, but you never talked to him. I didn't know I could talk to him. Oh. I can help. And there we go. I heard the noise of it completing. It made the noise even though the quest hadn't been activated. Okay. So that's it, right? So now we need an end game thing that shows victory. So yeah, you can display stuff from OpenSea. On average, how many animations do these NPC figure assets have? Are there animations that are a must, basic, walk, attack, etc.? So most of what you see in this is presets or templates from VoxEdit. So like this beaver here is using the small rodent. This looks like it's a modified bird of one of the larger models. The gorilla's a template. The dragon's a modified small mammal. Obviously, it's not a mammal, but that's the set of animations that it's using. So if you check out VoxEdit, you can see what those templates are. There's not really an average. The avatar has something like 50 animations. I don't remember the exact count. Part of that is because we consolidated the medium human assets that we had. So we used to have a medium human NPC, an avatar, and a medium human warrior, which had like different, sort of like attack animations and held a sword. And we decided like they all are the same size. Let's just consolidate them all. So now if you, I'm going to use the example of Sakura here just because that's what's in front of us. This one is not updated to the latest template, but if you make an avatar like this with the latest template, it will work as an NPC, as a warrior, or as an avatar. Not an avatar in the metaverse. You won't be able to set a full NPC character as an avatar for like the social hubs, but in your game you can select a specific character when you're developing it. So these characters are really multi-purpose, multi-use. Let's see. It never lets me use the template animations for my asset. I always need to start from scratch. You mean VoxEdit doesn't let you add animations? I think that's what you're saying. So those templates are locked, which we've talked about that on stream before, but it's been a while. The template locks are so that way people can't modify the rigs, because we do plan on adding more animations to these characters. And if they are conforming to the correct rig, then they will be compatible with any new animations we add, even after they're minted. But if something has been changed on the rig to add more nodes or modify the shape of the character, then those new animations won't be compatible. So we are adding the ability to unlock rigs soon. But there will be the warning that if you unlock them, you're not going to be able to receive those animation updates because we can't know if that character is conforming to the right rig structure. All right, so we're gonna hop out of this. Let me catch up with the chat here. Do we know when the wearable avatars will be fixed? So they are fixed now. The templates in VoxEdit are fixed for the avatar body parts, which are also known as wearables, and for equipment. So equipment and wearables are not the same thing. Equipment are items that you can place onto your avatar. Wearables is what we call the body parts of the avatar, because that's like your clothes, so your shirt, your pants, your shoes. So those templates are all fixed. We need to update the database of existing content to conform to all of those. So you might have noticed a few weeks ago the avatars loaded in with all the body parts on backwards, and that was because we were testing some things, and the new avatar, which has a 180 flip. It's actually flipped to forwards now because it's currently backwards. It was only partially updated, so we pulled that back. The avatars are working as expected now, but we are going to have to update everything, so that'll be in the next couple weeks. Let's see. Do you have any clue what kind of average staking rewards are? So no, because they're going to be different depending on how much land you have. You get a multiplier with your land. So I believe if you have no land, then your multiplier is at 1. And then for each additional land that you have, is it a 0.01 or is it a 0.1 multiplier? I don't remember. I think it's a 0.1 multiplier. So if you have 20 land, you're going to have a
start.
What was that?
But 0.1 is the start, but it goes up on a logarithmic regressive curve, which means that the first land that you have is dramatically more ROI. But as you get to like 100 lands plus, it's a very flat incline. Like you're not getting as much of a multiplier for your 101st land compared to your first by far.
Right.
But that's just in the interest of fairness. You get a nice multiplier for having land regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Alex, I did the math on a wallet that had no land on it.
Mm-hmm.
I did some staking. This is dated, but relevant at the time. You're getting a proportionate amount of sand compared to your relative stake compared to everyone else. When I did it with, I think it was like $5,000 worth of sand ETH, 2,500 sand, 2,500 ETH. At the time, I was getting about a 30% APY. I had no land. So that's annual percentage yield. So that number is dated. That's not a guarantee. Again, if there's more people staking, then your APY may be slightly less. But nonetheless, Alex, I know your experience has been good with staking. You held it in for months and got some nice reward for that.
I've earned more through staking sand than I have ever earned from a bank savings account, and
right.
Because the percentage is just so much higher. I don't remember how much I earned in the first day, but it was like cents of interest, but that's more than you get on like a bank account with, on a savings account with $1,000 in it. It was ridiculous how much faster it was accruing interest.
Yeah.
We've got there's actually can we share this? I think it should be fine. The yield farming info link.
Oh,
if people want to use that.
Sure. Yeah, I guess that's fine. It's a free tool that somebody randomly shared on Twitter
right
one
here.
day.
So I'm pasting a link in the chat. It'll ask to connect to your wallet. So that if you already are staking, it will actually tell you how much you have staked, what the price of sand is, the sand per week that you're earning. It'll give you an estimated yearly return. So so right now I have I'm trying to find there's a bunch of numbers here, and it's not it's a very utilitarian site, but it's nice
for sure. And then
my estimated sand earnings per day are 13.45 sand, which is just under $7 right now a day.
Sure.
Which is pretty nice. And that's with me having, I want to say I have 35 land. I don't think it actually says what the land multiplier is on this particular page. But yeah. So it's
David,
cool.
I want to get to your question too.
You go ahead.
Okay. So you don't have to use your land only for gaming. Alex showcased, I think it was last week, maybe Saturday, maybe
I'll do it right now.
There we go. So you can use your land as an art showcase if you want to create these NFTs. You can start designing in VoxEdit. You can take those assets and you can use it as a showcase. You can also backlink to JPEG, right at this time, just JPEG,
or PNG,
or PNG,
just static 2D images at the moment.
Static images that you own or have created on OpenSea.
It's actually any OpenSea link. It doesn't. Yes. You don't have to own it.
Oh yeah, that's true. You don't have to have owned or created it. You just need to link the asset. That's a good point. But it will show who created it and who currently owns it, or if you are the owner, rather. I think if you could show that, that'd be cool too. But you can see those are the NFT assets right there as images, and then when you open this up, it says that this person is the creator, that they are the verified owner. Right. So it's a pretty cool little system. So you can use it as an art gallery if you like. If you want to just use it as a place to hang out. We are creating social hubs internally right now. So you could potentially create social hubs. But that feature is not in the game maker now for users to make multiplayer experiences. But if you have an idea and you're looking for proper funding sponsorship, you could be funded if you had an idea and you could show an example of that. You can go to gamefund.sandbox.game if you want to make, like, let's say a rave techno disco, right? And you're like, I got a connection with this musical artist who wants to do this, and then show out. You'll get consultation about how this may or may not work, and then move forward. So lots of stuff you can do, David. Lots of stuff. $7 a day in sand, a $5 pack of LaCroix day. There you go. Hey, you know what? The only like I said, the only caveat right now to that staking system, and why we want to change it and update it to actually get more in line with what we said in the white paper, staking in the land, is once we have layer 2 integration, that fee gets way less. Right now, when you're staking, you're still doing everything on the Ethereum mainnet chain. So the stake costs, in gas, I think it's, I don't know what it is right now, but I'll guess $30, $50, something in that ballpark. Unstaking is the same thing, right? So Alex would want to stake for a minimum of, I would say, 3 weeks before Alex is going to see an ROI from the initial conversion, the stake on Uniswap, the stake on our page, and then unstake. Those are 4 total fees, right? So again, do your research, make sure that it's a good investment for you, and that the ROI is decent enough. Or, go in with the mindset that you're going to stake it, forget about it. One interesting value proposition, I noticed a user in the chat mentioned that they staked 5,000 sand when it was 6 cents a piece. And if you think about the sand that they have acquired since then and the appreciation of that sand in value, when they unstake, they're going to have quite a good ROI dollars, if we're talking about US dollars, for that stake. So it can be an interesting and great way to, save it, forget about it, that sort of thing. So,
yep. So we are going way over today. It's almost an hour over the end of our stream time. So we've had some really great questions today, and I do see Scars Raider. I do want to show you guys how to back up your files, so that way you can have a duplicate and be able to have an old version of your game that you're not going to touch as kind of like a backup. So we will go over that on Saturday. It's really pretty simple. It's a little unintuitive because it's not really an official backup system, but it's really just copying a file that's on your computer to another folder as your backup. So we will cover that on Saturday as something that's important for you as a developer, to make sure that you are saving your work in a way that is beneficial to you. So tune in at was that 1800 GMT?
Yes.
On Saturday.
1800 UTC.
UTC. Sorry. GMT. Yes, not 1800 UTC on Saturday. Be there or not, because you'll be able to play it back on demand later. So, but we like it when you're here also, because then you get to engage with us in the chat. So thank you everybody for hanging out for so long. We will see you later.
See ya. Can I play the music? Am I doing the music?
If you want to do the music, you can do the music.
Doing the music?
Just do.
Am I doing the music? Am I doing the music? Am I doing the music? Yeah, I'm doing the music. See you later. It's been a good time.